lot of niggas in the club tonight. What? But it's gonna be alright. Yeah. Cause me and my clique, we don't give a fuck. Trick Daddy, let's go. If you know that you can get it, let me know. I'm about to break this thing up. Let's go. If you know that you can get it, let me know. I'm about to break this thing up. If you want some, come get some. That's where I'm from.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, wrestling fans everywhere, and welcome to FTW Future Focus. I am your not-so-humble correspondent, Robert Black, back in the shades. And below me is the fabulous young lady from North Carolina. She is the queen of Motown Wrestling Group on Facebook and a hell of a person on the treadmill. She is the Tigress, Ty Nickerson. How you doing, dear?
The Tigress is ready to roar.
Sweet. And this is the show to do it on, so glad to have you with us. Over to my side is the silent but deadly man from Chicago, Illinois, and he has about as much use for women's professional wrestling as I do for hospital visits. He is Marvelous Marcus Buckley. How you doing?
What's up, everybody?
Good to see you, sir. To my caddy corner is the master of wine, women, song, and cigars, the president of Motown Wrestling Group on Facebook, my pal and friend, and soon to be releasing another episode of Smoke and Fire onto the world. He is Tony Motown Allen. How you doing?
Doing outstanding. Got the cigar, got the Jamie. I'm ready to do this shit.
Absolutely. Sweet. I'd join you today, but this weekend was a little bit rough for me, so I'm not going to partake. Last but certainly not least, the man in the middle of all our activities, the founder of our feast, the president of FTW Network, professional wrestling extraordinaire, a hell of a promoter, and a good goddamn handsome man. He is the mastermind, Bobby Rogers. How you doing?
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the FTW Future Focus. Let me just say this. Thank you for tuning in. Got a good show for you today. I just got people watching Captain America Brave New World and listen to Tiffany Stratton get in Charlotte Flair. I think she got a whole brave new world to go for herself. So we got it going on today with a lot of good topics. So let's get it done.
All righty. Our first one up for grabs is going to be one that I think we're going to have a lot of fun with. Mickie James recently got online and was complaining about there being too much ass in professional wrestling for the women's division today, which that's an argument that's been done over for decades, and it looks like we're going to go back into it again. And just to be, just to start this off on the right foot, let's start with Marvelous Marcus Buckley. How do you feel about Mickie James saying that there is too much ass in women's professional wrestling today?
You know, when I saw her say that on, the LFG show last week,
Mm-hmm.
my first thought was, get the fuck out of here. Are you kidding me? I mean, first of all, let's look at the shit that Mickie James wears to the ring as recently as when she was in TNA, because that's what she shows when she's in the ring, TNA. So even though she was around during that bra and panty era, and entitled to her opinion, she still wears that type of outfit. But to me, I think the whole point she was trying to make was that for her taste, women like her fought too hard, to make women and wrestling look. And my thing to that is, Mickie, you've won that battle. Okay, women today does not have to wear bra and panties and outfits like that to be
unfortunately
right to be on TV. It's a choice. women nowadays are involved in every type of match that a man is in, unfortunately. But still, they're involved in hardcore matches, cage matches. They main event shows. They have won that battle. They're seen now as more than sexual objects. They're seen like regular wrestlers. And nowadays they can be on TV. Like Chris Statlander had her ass out in a hardcore match with Willow Nightingale. That was her choice. Okay, I mean that's just what it is now. Women have more choice to wear what type of attire they want. They don't necessarily have to get on TV for 5 minutes. They have won that battle. So I'm not really sure. I mean, okay, that's her preference. She don't want to see it. Well, be like me when a women's tag match comes on. Fast forward it or change the channel. If you don't want to see the ass, that's it.
Can I go next, Rob?
Sure, why not?
This is a subject that's kind of personal to me because I enjoy women's wrestling. I am a fan of women's wrestling, big time. I forget some things on here when it comes to women's wrestling. People thought I was crazy for, and me and my overall enjoy seeing two females up there that can get down and execute a match properly. This is the problem, all right? And Marcus, I agree with you, but then I don't agree with you. You say that women don't have to put on those outfits or whatever. My thing is, it depends on where they are. All right? I still think WWE pushes that because they got people that make their outfits for them. You know what I'm saying? So these guys are telling them this is what we want her in because this is what she's doing, blah, 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 blah. They don't really have a choice. Now, if you get up to the upper echelons, like maybe Charlotte Flair or something like that, then yeah. But for the most part, no, they don't have a choice. I get what Mickie James is saying, and don't get me wrong. I like seeing me some wavy ass going. Don't get me wrong. Willow Nightingale, I would love to see her in a short dress. Good Lord, help me. But anyway, and then there's a couple other people I would like to see in outfits like that. But at the same time, I don't want that getting them over. You know what I'm saying? I want their abilities to get them over. I want their mic skills to get them over. I want the technical prowess in the ring to get over. I want the ring presence. I want all that. That's why you see me cheer for Willow Nightingale, but also cheer for Jade Cargill. You know, because of her presence, her stature in the ring. Now, she's not that good of a wrestler. She's getting better. You know, a hell of a lot better. But she's not, you know, she's not on a Charlotte Flair skill level. My thing is this. I totally agree with her because I think there's still a couple of females in there that are getting over because of what they look like, especially in other federations. We are starting to get that mix, but we're not there yet. We got a long way to go. Because you still got people like Piper Niven that's in there that can fucking out-wrestle all these motherfuckers. But just because she's a big girl, guess what? She ain't getting the fucking spotlight. And half the girls that don't look good in that shit don't get the spotlight. Half of them. So we got still 3/4 to go in this fight.
Well,
ability should override everything.
Let me
at least have your mic skills together. You know what I'm saying? At least you can sell that, you know. But you ain't even got your mic skills together. You look like a fucking rubberized beauty queen, and you can't sit in the fucking ring on the mic. No, man. Sorry. I give Mickie James what she said, and she's absolutely right. Because there's wrestlers like I dug it. How in the fuck am I missing her name?
Serena Deeb.
That's one. But I'm thinking of my girl that I like. The one that was with the fucking bunny.
Oh, Rosemary.
There you go, Rosemary. You have Piper Niven. You have old girl that I was talking about, Lead a Lot of Love, that I showed on this program before.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect fucking promo. Lead a Lot of Love had a perfect fucking promo with her. Could speak on the mic, had ability, had agility, but she was a big girl that got ignored. You know, we gotta stop that. We gotta stop that bullshit. I don't give a fuck. Dudes
What-
just gonna sit up here and be like, "Oh, we got ass and tits. Why you always see ass and tits?" You're not watching a wrestling show, not a bougie pageant or a porno. That's why.
Well, let me ask you a question, Bobby. What do you think got Rhea Ripley over more, her ass or her ability? Because she shows both.
Actually, to tell you the truth, it's both with her.
So you don't think she would have got over as much if she wore leather pants?
No.
I don't know about that. I disagree.
No,
with
she
you.
wouldn't have. No, I can guarantee you she wouldn't have.
Well, okay, let me take this one because I think I can. Both you and Marcus have great points here, but this is an old controversy, and we've been talking about this since the 40s and how women get over in wrestling, and there's a point to both arguments that it's improved since the old days, but the old adage that tits and ass sell has never gone away. And that is good or bad depending on one very important aspect. Why are you watching the show? And at some point, you have to choose between whether you are watching for the wrestling or just watching to see scantily clad women. Because if you're watching for one as opposed to the other, then your perception is going to get skewed, especially if you're a guy. For my part, I am a wrestling fan, first and foremost. That doesn't mean that I'm against women wrestling in outfits that are revealing. I'm not against that per se. But as much as I don't want to agree with Ole Anderson on anything, the marquee does say wrestling at the end of the game. And if all I wanted to see was if all I wanted to see were women in bikinis, there is an easier way for me to see that other than like sitting through 3 hours of WWE programming just to see one or two women's matches. So at the end, there has to be more of an emphasis on skill. And though Marcus does have a point in that Rhea Ripley might not have gotten as over on her skill if she didn't go Goff leather the way she does in the ring, Rhea still had to be able to at least competently wrestle in order to get to where she is. And the same is true of Charlotte. The same is true of Mickie James in particular. And I think that Mickie is just making a bigger deal overall of what her generation had to do as opposed to the one that's now. So,
well, Rob, can I ask you a quick question though?
Sure.
You say, well, Rhea Ripley would get over without looking like what she does, blah 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 blah, right? Let me ask you a question. Which one person wouldn't be in this because she's not on their roster, but this one would. What about fucking Natalya? The fucking master of all the shit. Natalya has more skills in her fucking pinky than most of those women do their whole fucking career. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. Okay, here.
Wait. Piper Niven. Piper Niven is a very skilled, but they don't let her wrestle like that. You know what I'm saying?
I understand that, and that is a WWE problem, not a wrestling.
Whoa! It ain't that just WWE. Serena Deeb.
Okay.
I gotta say that AEW roster, Tony Khan be looking at their tits and ass when he picked up.
Yeah, he do.
Okay.
He's got way more skills than fucking what the fuck?
Okay. I stand corrected. Both are guilty of the same sin.
Oh no, it ain't just them two either. TNA.
That
They ain't done the same fucking thing.
I know that. That
but-
doesn't change the fact that it takes more than looks, at least in today's division. Yesterday's division, like before Mickey James, when we were talking about when we were talking about before Trish and Lita got over, yes, that would be there is absolutely no question that women in professional wrestling had a hell of a time getting over if they looked like Leilani Kai. That still doesn't change the fact that things have vastly improved since then. And if somebody came onto the scene like Eva Marie today, she would get shat on even worse than she did for having no skill.
I gotta say this though. I will give one person her props. That has vastly improved throughout because I used to clown on her bad.
Mm-hmm.
And this girl has stepped up and showed that she was training. And that's B-Fab. B-Fab has shown a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I'm shocked at her. Now, number one, I can't even give her the tits and ass category because she don't even got tits and ass.
No, she don't.
And thank you for joining us on FTW Future Focus.
But I'm telling the truth, she don't.
Anybody,
But,
you know
but,
what they say? This wrestler's so good he can wrestle a broomstick. That's B-Fab.
but,
Yeah.
but
Oh,
Dude.
thank you for
Wait a minute.
joining
Hold
us.
on, wait a minute. You got it right. The B, broomstick Fab. Yeah.
Oh, thank
Yeah.
you for joining us on FTW.
Yeah.
wait a minute, you said,
An industrial broom too. Yeah.
but
Oh,
wait a minute, you say B-Fab has gotten better? Her punches look like shit. Are you kidding?
Her punches do like his shit, but
Yeah.
her other moves,
Better?
her kicks and stuff look
Better than she's better than she used to be.
okay. Now, here's Natalia. The reason that Natalia was not the star that she deserved to be was because WWE Creative completely screwed her over. That's
Wait, let's tell the truth. The reason Natalia didn't get over because Mick Diddler didn't get to screw her over. That's what it was.
And
well,
plus,
yeah, there is that.
But the thing with Natalia is, I mean, Natalia is not like Piper Niven or some of the other ones. Natalia got a nice body.
no,
Yes.
but no, Natty is too muscular for WWE. She's way too muscular.
Look at Jay Cargill.
And what? And how far you think she gonna get?
Way far.
Now, yeah, we'll see.
Rhea Ripley's pretty
We'll
muscular herself too now.
No, but Rhea Ripley looks like a woman. She's way more feminine looking than Natty. Way more feminine.
Natty looks like a woman. What are you talking about?
No, but she look at all that muscle she got. This is
She looks more of a
WWE.
woman than Rhea.
This is
She do
WWE.
look more like she do look more feminine than Rhea Ripley now. Come on.
Oh,
I seriously look at Rhea Ripley. I'm like, okay, she fine as hell. Okay, she a freak. All right, I got you. But I look at Natty and I'm just like, damn, got milk? I mean, what the
oh, thank you for joining us.
The one that got milk is the Queen of Hearts herself, Jenny Neidhart. I would put it on Jenny Neidhart like does.
And thank you for joining us on FTW Future
It's
Focus.
the DNA. It's the Hart family DNA. It's the Hart family
Jenny
DNA,
Neidhart
baby.
look.
I
All
get
right,
it.
well-
Jenny get a bigger pussy than Natty.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Jenny-
let's get Ty in on this before we get too dirty.
Too late. Too late.
Oh, you saving me for last, huh?
Yeah. Because I know you're going to break the meter.
Oh, goddamn, yeah.
Ty,
I
go
like to
ahead.
break the meter off in the tire, I'll tell you that.
Thank you for joining us on FTW Future. Oh.
I'll tell you this, they call her, they get through her, they call her the needle mover.
Thank you for joining us on FTW. Ty, save our souls, please.
Okay. Mickey James talking about there's too much booty in wrestling. To me, I don't think there's too much booty in wrestling. Yeah, there is a little bit too much, but it's not an overload of booty. Now, if I was a pro wrestler, a female pro wrestler in either WWE, Impact, or AEW, in WWE, if I was a pro wrestler in WWE, I probably wouldn't get a lot of shine on the roster because, you know, I'm probably not the stereotypical like black female that they would want me to portray. And
no, you would get the attention because you cheer for Omega. That's what it is.
that ain't got nothing to do with that, but I digress. But if I was in AEW, Ring of Honor, or Impact, I probably wouldn't show a lot of booty when it comes to my ring gear. But that, like I said, that's my choice. But if I want to show that much booty, I would want to. But if me not showing a lot of booty, meaning I wouldn't get a push on the roster, oh well, it is what it is. I mean, I've seen, when I first started watching Impact, I've seen the ring gear Mickie James has worn. I've seen her ring gear. I've seen, you know, Velvet Sky and Angelina Love's ring gear. I mean,
Let the bitches loose.
yeah. But I'm not gonna lie, some of the ring attire the ladies wore, I love it. But then you got some that I don't like, and I just think, what the hell are you thinking wearing that? You know what I mean? Because y'all know, anytime a women's match come on, y'all know y'all see me be like, I want what she's wearing. I want what she's wearing. I don't like that. Who the hell did, you know, stuff like that. You know what I mean? But I'm pretty sure a lot of female wrestlers on the roster have been showing a lot of ass since the Attitude Era. So why is Mickie James complaining about it now?
Well,
I don't. It's
well,
like,
she certainly didn't complain about it at WrestleMania 22.
Exactly. She didn't complain about it at WrestleMania 22. So why is she complaining about it now is what I don't understand.
It goes to Marcus' point, and he's right. You know, Marcus was like, you know, they did that to survive through that so they could come out and speak out and stop that shit. You know. So I give, you know, sometimes you gotta play the game to beat the game.
Exactly.
You know,
I mean, sometimes you have to. I mean, sometimes a lot of our parents have told us, you know, to go along, you have to get along. And in this case, in the wrestling world, when it comes to showing some ass, that's what you got to do sometimes in order to, you know, get ahead and to get a push. You know.
Well, let's Tony. Since you're going last, let's throw this to you. Do you think that that Mickey, like I said, this is an old controversy. So if Mickey is complaining now, should she have complained then?
It would give it a lot more validation if she did it then. I'm sorry. If this was oh God, Ivory. If Ivory was to say this shit today, I would look at it different because of the stance she took back in the Attitude Era. The fact that it's coming from Mickie James, that just makes me think, get it ready, Rob. This might be worth two. But when I think of Mickie James and how she was back in the day to complain about this dance, I'm like, this bitch must have swallowed a lot of fucking kids back in the day because she's trying to see, because what's coming out of her mouth sounding fucking childish.
Thank you for joining us on FTW. Wow.
I agree more with Marcus than Bobby on this because do looks sell? Absolutely. Absolutely. Looks are big. It ain't just wrestling. That's society. That's the world. Looks are important in wrestling. Looks are important in retail. Looks are important in fucking.
Looks are just important in general. I mean, it's 2025, and I agree with Tony with this one. Looks are everything in the wrestling world, and it can make, and whether you have it or not, can make or break your chances of getting over in the wrestling world.
It just wrestling is not all looks now. So I think that's where Marcus is coming from because, like, back in the day, like, you could be fucking Tori Wilson and Stacey Kleber are considered to be, like, some of the top women performers ever. And those bitches couldn't wrestle worth a damn. They were 100% looks.
trash.
But they look good back in their day.
They did. No, they definitely did.
They were very
But it's not
pretty.
like that now, though, because I think looks will get you in the door, but just like Rhea Ripley, you still got to get in the ring and perform and everything, though. So, like, if you look good and can go in the ring, you got a damn good shot at a skyrocket up your ass. Look at Tiffany Stratton.
Oh,
that woman is gorgeous and got great in-ring ability. But I will say this, though. I really think that Dirty Dom helped Rhea Ripley get over a hell of a lot more than her ass. Because the height of her popularity was with Dirty Dom by her side.
And plus, and let's not forget, she was showing before Judgment Day, she was showing her ass and couldn't get over.
Yeah.
Let's not
But
forget,
when she wasn't showing booty, she got over, right?
Not getting over.
she was not over before Judgment Day. She was not getting over.
She was not over till Dirty Dom. That's when she became a mega.
Wow.
She was.
I disagree with that one.
Yeah, I'm with Bobby on this one. She was.
For Dirty Dom, and look how popular she was.
Yeah, but she was over. She was over as a badass before Judgment
Not
Day.
as hot now as she was when she had.
Not nearly as much. Not nearly. And she was ass back then.
Hold on, wait. She got put with Judgment Day because of her. Dom stepped up during that era and elevated everybody. I will agree with that. But the original thing was it was because of Rhea and her popularity.
Right, but
So, I mean, you can't say that she was put in there for her popularity, but Dom stepped up and did a lot of shit.
I'm saying she gained.
elevated.
I'm saying her height of her popularity was with Dirty Dom.
right.
Okay, let's flip this on its head for a minute. Let's go back to something Motown that you mentioned a few minutes ago. Stacy Keibler. Well, let Stacy Keibler was
Go back to that no talent bitch.
No, I have a reason for that madness,
Okay.
and it's because she was a no talent bitch. Could Stacy Keibler get over to any extent today that she did back then?
Not with her abilities, no.
Fuck no.
But
Okay, so what you're saying is that that skill does matter now. It matters. It
Yeah, I
matters
mean,
more now than it did then.
It helps to have both, but you gotta have skill now, though.
Okay, cosmetics is important, but is it not progress to say that
Without-
somebody like Stacy Keibler would flop today because she can't wrestle? That sounds like progress to
Yeah,
me.
exactly. I definitely agree with that.
It sounds like a promo from Cody Rhodes to John Cena. Nobody ever yelled that you can't wrestle.
Shit.
That shit was tight.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get to WrestleMania stuff later, but I guess we can end on that note and move on.
Hold on. I did want to ask something though.
Okay, go ahead.
When it comes to this women's wrestling era,
Mhm.
I've always said that I think that they're going to go ahead and take over and be able to hold their own thing. It's going to be a federation that comes out later on. Oh, it's going to be 10 years from now, where it's all women, all good. I mean,
Well, they've
all
got
good
that in
women.
Japan already, but it's going to come to the U.S. eventually.
Oh God! You brought up New Japan.
Well, they've got that now. They got WoW. They got that now. In
They've
America.
got Stardom.
Wow to me don't seem like a wrestling federation. It don't.
Stardom
why.
in Japan they've got already, but it's very possible that soon it's going to come. I've been saying for years that the women's divisions need their own shows. If the AEW is not to that,
Let me ask you a question. Maybe we should hold one.
yes, I would be fine with that.
What'd you say, Tony?
That sounds good.
So let me ask you a question. Okay, let's say you're a women's organization,
Mhm.
and your top star wants to show her. That's the outfit she wants to choose. Okay, y'all good with that?
If it's her decision, yes.
If it's not her decision,
Right.
then
But I'm saying, her publicity, when she's out promoting you all's product, and she's out here Daisy Dukes and thongs, showing her ass. Even though she's a great wrestler, she's getting she goes in the crowd, she does lap dances, she's selling sex along with being a star. So
No.
your promotion,
No.
right? But look, that's people getting people in your show.
Lap dances, no.
That's selling tickets. You gonna cut that out?
Yep.
Okay. I don't know.
Not doing no lap dances.
I wouldn't go as far as bigger.
You might have went a little far on that one, Marcus.
I'll admit. Only reason I did that because I posted that earlier. No,
I ain't doing no. Some chick, you ain't doing no lap dance in my motherfucking show.
But what I'm saying is, your top star, is a sex symbol, and that's getting people on your TV. That's getting people into your audience.
Let me go ahead and answer that. Wearing outfits and stuff like that, I can dig that. All right. But this is the thing it contingent on. It depends on what role she's playing in my fed too. Think about this. Why the hell have a girl dressed up sexy as hell and she got the role of Abaddon?
Well, yeah, that's true too. Well, there's gimmick issues that go along with it as well, but there's also one more thing. Like I said, it depends on whether you're selling wrestling or sex, and somewhere along the line you got to draw some kind of line between both. And lap dances is a little bit too far.
Yeah, that's way.
Yeah, I mean, you might as well be like having mud wrestling in a bar if you're going to go that far.
Yeah, I would not tolerate that.
Yeah, I mean,
I would never tolerate that shit.
I was just fucking around with that part, I admit. But
well, I know. But Marcus, that is an excellent point to bring up because, we're talking about limits here, and that was Mickie James's original point. She draws a line at a specific location, and depending on, as a wrestling fan, where you draw your own line, that is where because
And I get that, Rob. I just wish she drew that line when she was in her prime.
and think about it.
That was the other point I wanted to make. I remember. Okay, I'm glad you said that. Thank you, Tony. I understand, and please understand. I hope the viewers out there can see my point on this. I understand what you mean about. I wish you would have said something then. When she would have said something then, she'd have been shut out of everything that she accomplished.
I mean, but yeah.
Wait, let me finish. Sometimes you have to play the game to get the name behind yourself so you can speak out about those issues. And the reason being is because you did it, you went through it, but then also later in your career, you got that big enough to where you can show you could do it another way. If you sit there and you tell people, I went through this, I did all of this, and I did not like that gives more of a personal story of you going actually through it and finish with it to say it's not right. Besides somebody just like me on the outside saying, this is not cool. Because I know 90% of the dudes up there looking at me like, shut the fuck up. I want to see some ass and tits. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just being 100%. But I just think that you got to go through it and play the game when it's that much entrenched back in those days. And then when you establish yourself as beating them at their game, showing them the other game that should be played, it holds more weight than just starting off saying, no, that's bullshit. Because they're going to label you as a rookie that don't want to do shit, get the fuck out of here, and then you never heard from again.
But Mickie James is also the same woman that has gotten a lot of these criticisms when she was wrestling with her ass out, kissing on women, bringing the hot lesbian action to this shit too. This is Mickie James.
And she still shows her ass to this day. Her last match, she was showing her ass. I don't understand the point.
I get what you're saying. My thing is the source.
Right. And I see your point about like now. Nowadays, she should have addressed. She should have did that transition. You're right. I agree with you 100%. So.
I mean, it just.
Oh well, I tried to help Mickie. Can't help her.
Well, you know, it depends on how far you're willing to play a certain game in order to make your point.
And if
that
she looks right and she's Will Nightingale, we can go as far as she wants with any game she want to play.
Thank you for joining us on FTW Future Focus. Oh wow. Well, that was a actually constructive discussion.
I know.
Speaking,
I have a lot of different opinions on that though. So no matter where you at with it, we hit what you thinking, guys.
well, yeah, I mean,
But
it's
hold on. But this is the one thing I gotta say. This is why I'm glad we have all of us assembled together.
Mm.
This is the reason why, because there's certain subjects like this that I think that should be discussed on more podcasts. I think that there are subjects like this that not only go to what the fun part of the business is, Charlotte got clown, you know what I'm saying? Okay, that's cool to talk about. But I think we should be able to talk about some more of the intricate parts of the business like this. And that's why I like the panel that we have, because we give totally different opinions on it so people can see each side. That's the purpose of this channel. That's the purpose of the network, to see every single different side. And you ride with what you want to ride with. It's like Ty. Ty, she rides with Omega. We can't help that. We try to
Hey,
help.
I ride with Jericho and Jeff Hardy too. Let's not forget that.
nothing wrong with Omega.
Yeah, I mean, think about it, Rob. You ride with Rio. I mean, we gotta.
Always with the Riho hate.
Hey,
Damn.
but he also rides with Hikaru Shida too.
I do. Yes.
Hey, I don't. But no, Sheeta's a good pick though.
Yeah.
What are they doing with Sheeta lately though?
I don't know what they're doing with
That's
her.
a good question.
Last time I saw her, she had a match on Collision against Sky Blue. I think that's
How long ago was that?
This was a few months ago.
Okay, she might be injured, or she might be like going back and forth from Japan. But
I don't know.
Hikaru Sheeta's not like Rio, because Rio's like 95 pounds. Well, 99 at the her side boob finishes.
Oh, thank you for joining us on FTW.
Get over there!
Oh my God. Oh,
that's what Rio said afterwards.
Thank you for joining us on FTW Future Focus.
Oh God!
Wow.
He put it on Rio like does.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us on FTW Future Focus. And I knew it was going to happen with you, Motown. You just hit 300.
And I should be the one that hit 300. You know why? Because 200 of those are mine.
Yeah, no kidding. And this means that I'm going to extend this, because I know we've got like 2 weeks until WrestleMania, but I'm going to institute a ban after this episode now. Next week and WrestleMania weekend are both going to be no Thanksgiving. Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, yeah, next week's show and WrestleMania weekend show is going to be no Thanksgiving. So that my gift to the panel.
Oh, I hope my lady won't. My lady, my relatives, y'all might not want
to. We're going to have to throw holy water on the screen
in
order to stay on YouTube.
We might need holy water and Jesus candles.
That's true. That's true. And I do have a baptism candle. I might want to light it during the show now. But anyway, Bobby, you had the best transition in the world into our next segment, because Booker T and Swerve Strickland have got a beef going on online about WWE's treatment of black wrestlers.
Okay, Rob, I'm gonna put a disclaimer out there real quick.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna dip this shit in the bud right fucking now. Alright? Number one, we're discussing something that's very important, guys. Alright? For all the fans out there. We're discussing something that's important. The way black wrestlers are treated includes everyone. I don't want to hear no shit or see no shit. So a motherfucker talking about, well, Rob talking about this. He ain't black, blah, blah. I dare somebody to say some shit like that. Robert's opinion in this matter is just as equal as what goes on with us.
Honestly, I would say his opinion means more to mine than Marcus, even though we're black men, because he's been in those locker rooms and everything.
Exactly. So my thing is, I dare someone that watches this on recording or watching live to say some bullshit like that. I will clown on you so hard you think call me Bozo Jr.
Okay, since we're going to go that direction, then I might as well start first. Motown just got through saying it. I've been in the wrestling industry. I have called matches for every kind of wrestler under the sun, including black wrestlers. And I have met some and black wrestlers in particular. I have seen some of the most skilled, the most charismatic, and the most humble in heart pro wrestlers that I've met have been black wrestlers. No Die Miles, JTG, and a whole host of others.
I gotta say one right off top. I gotta give somebody their props right off top. Apollo Sticky Star.
Yes, Apollo Star, Drew Skills, Sam Knight.
There's one more though.
What's that?
There's one more though.
Mm-hmm.
It was a pain in my ass. We were rivals. But I'm gonna give him props where props. He's retiring this year. That's Sam Knight.
Yes. Yeah, Sam Knight is an extraordinary talent, a once-in-a-lifetime guy, and I was very proud to call matches for him and to be in business with him. Great guy.
I was proud to be in the ring with him going against him, and that was what, I mean...
Yeah, that was the one time that I was able to accompany you to the ring, was you and Sam for New Wave.
Yep.
That was a very proud moment for me. I was glad to be part of that, actually.
Since we're doing indie shout outs, I want to give a shout out to a brother that's doing his thing in the indies in the indie scene as well.
Fuck no.
Damn. Skylar Reed.
Yeah, Skylar's a badass too.
Yeah.
When he was on the show, my mom loved him. No, because she always liked her son. She liked Hills too. But and we got to see him and we got to see him live and everything. And that motherfucker go in the ring too. Like he backs up his mouth.
Yes, he can.
Yeah.
Skyler's the shit.
Oh yes.
That problem Skylar Reed too.
Yeah. So we all agree that African American wrestlers are highly skilled, very charismatic, and are an essential part of the professional wrestling business. Yeah. And we can all agree on those factors. Now, as far as the beef between Booker and Swerve, I think that for whatever reason, these two guys are talking past each other because they're in different companies. And that's part of the reason why they're locking horns with each other. Swerve had a bad experience with WWE. Booker had a better experience with WWE, and because of their individual, because of what individually happened to them, they've got different perspectives on the same problem. That being said, there is still a problem in professional wrestling with black wrestlers not being given the props that they should be given for specific reasons. The reason I say specific reasons is because as much progress has been made, and as essential as black professional wrestlers are to WWE, AEW, TNA, and all over the world, and those perceptions have changed, there are still certain aspects of culture and certain stereotypes that are still emphasized when they're allowed to be. And I'm 100% against that. And that is why I hate to use this as an example, but that's why I am not a fan of R-Truth. Because there are times when he is used as comedy relief and cannon fodder when he should not be. And I loved Ron the Truth Killings as NWA World Champion back in the days in the early days of TNA when they gave him that title run. But the fact that WWE in particular still does that, especially with professional wrestlers that they should not be doing it with, and Bobby, you said something about playing the game in order to get over on the game. And when I see guys like Montez Ford and Street Profits doing those kind of things in order to stay relevant, it bothers me that that still has to happen in WWE for certain black wrestlers to get over and stay over and get screen time. That bothers me. And it's not only about comedy acts and wrestling. Carmelo Hayes should be a much bigger star than he is now, but I think
I want him to go back to NXT.
But see, I think that part of the perception there, that part of the problem is the reason Carmelo is not bigger than what he is right now on the main roster. And in that particular instance, I think that Swerve in this beef has a point over Booker. That's not to say that Booker is wrong and that WWE is somehow mega prejudiced against black wrestlers in particular, because I mean, my God, look at The Rock. But it is not a fixed issue, and WWE still has problems with playing to stereotypes, especially with female black wrestlers. That is a big issue. They have not gotten past that point with female black wrestlers yet. They're trying.
With female black wrestlers, they try to put them in a stereotypical ghetto hood rat stereotype. And WWE needs to understand not every black woman acts like that, me included. There are some that act like that and some that don't act like that.
I couldn't have said that any better myself. So
it's the same with the male African American wrestlers. You got and not all African American men act like the hood the black hood stereotype. Some do, some don't, and I don't like how WWE is portraying some of these black wrestlers. I mean, look at ACH. When he was in NXT as Jordan Miles, y'all remember when they came out with a t-shirt?
I didn't realize that was ACH. I heard a lot about ACH, but I did not know that was him.
Yeah. They had a t-shirt made for Jordan Miles, and the letters of his name looked like the teeth, like showing his teeth, like smiling and stuff like that. And he was offended by that, and he didn't like that.
Yeah, see, well, let's go the opposite direction. Keith Lee.
Yeah.
Keith Lee is a sophisticated, very intellectual,
educated black man.
Yes, and WWE did not want him to be that on camera.
They wanted him to be a stereotypical hood black man.
I just wanted him to be Keith Lee, a big, a big, strong, talented guy who could pound people into the goddamn ground. And there's a lot of guys of all races in WWE that should just be allowed to be themselves and get over that way instead of
Exactly.
playing to
Don't
some
try to
kind of
be
gimmick.
yeah, don't try to be somebody you're not gimmick wise.
Now,
I also want to add, I don't like how WWE is doing R-Truth as the comedic relief for the gimmick. There needs to be a balance. You can still do the comedic relief, but you got to be serious. You got to bring out that aggressive side when you're wrestling. It's the same with Street Profits, with Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford. Y'all
Same
can
with
be
New Day.
funny. Yeah, y'all could be funny. Y'all could be sick. Y'all could be funny. Goof around a little bit, but bring the fiery heel sadistic side. Bring that out. Have a mixture of both.
See, I thought they were going to do that with New Day, but they never pulled the trigger on it, and they should. I would love to see.
I agree.
New Day
I
is a
think
whole
they
different
should.
subject. A whole
Well-
different.
Well, I would like to see Wood and Kingston just go completely dark New Day, but Ty,
Kinda
go
like,
ahead and finish your thought, and then we'll go to Motown.
okay, my thing is with the Street Profits, with these blacks, with these black wrestlers, I don't like the stereotype they put them in. Let them be who they are. Don't try to make them into somebody they're not, gimmick wise. It also goes for the female African American wrestlers, because if you try to put them in a gimmick that they're not, people gonna interpret that as all black people, male and female, act like this. When in reality, we don't. We do not.
Motown, what do you got?
Honestly, somebody mentioned. I'm not sure who mentioned it. No, Rob, you did. Part of the problem with this dynamic with Swerve and Booker T, there's two problems with it. You pointed out the obvious, Rob. Two separate companies. If this was a conversation going on with two people in the same company, it'd be a hell of a lot different, because it's like, hey, are you saying this because of this, or are you saying this because I'm with the rivalry trying to cut me down? There's always like, okay, different companies, their hidden agenda on this. But when I look at Booker T, he has not gone through what a lot of the black wrestlers have gone through. I'm not saying he hasn't gone through shit, because trust me, I'm sure he has gone through shit though, but Booker T has never been held back. Like 95% of the black athletes in professional wrestling. So I don't think they always look at Booker T as you can relate, because Booker kind of can't relate. Booker's that guy that, like, when you say there's a problem with like them pushing black wrestlers, this man was just voted the greatest black wrestler ever. He's a 5-time WCW champion. The man won multiple titles in WWE. I give Booker all the credit in the world for what he achieved, because when you think about when WWE brought out WCW, Booker is one of the very few people from WCW that was successful in WWE.
Mm-hmm.
He's an exception to the rule. So I think Swerve, different company is definitely it, but I don't know if like the black wrestlers look at Booker the same way, because like he hasn't been held back like a lot of these great wrestlers, black wrestlers, male and female. I could be wrong, but I think I kind of look at it like that though. Like Swerve might be like, you don't know.
Marcus, you on the same page?
Well, this is one of the rare occasions where I think both wrestlers have good points. I mean, when I look at Booker T, I'm not going to say he's an Uncle Tom, because that wouldn't be fair.
And I'm not even trying to insinuate that he is. I'm just saying that like he didn't struggle as much to get over.
And I personally, I don't know Booker T, but I think he is. But I think he is a good company man. I mean, he's still making good living in WWE, still to this day. So I think he's going to defend his company.
Mhm.
And when I've been reading things about it, and a lot of people have issue with him being in, being in the skit when Vince said the N word to John Cena, and I think a lot of people take issue with him on that. But I think that's the situation where it depends on, as an individual, what can you tolerate. I mean, there's a lot of black men that would have been like, "Oh, I'm not being a part of that." But then, uh, but then, but then the question becomes: will Booker still be in the company today? Or I look at somebody like Samuel L. Jackson. I mean, he let Quentin Tarantino say the N word all the time in 2 movies, and he's one of the most successful actors in Hollywood. So I mean, it depends on what your situation is and what you can tolerate as an individual. You know,
That's an example. Excellent example.
right? But then I look at somebody like Swerve, looking at from the outside. Well, look how they did the Hurt Business. Black men that were getting over in suits, speaking, well spoken. And as soon as that gimmick was getting over, without reason, they pulled the plug on it. I don't know. That kind of makes you scratch your head a little bit.
And you talk about a group with Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin, two of the most talented men in wrestling.
Exactly. And they pulled the plug on that without, I mean, at one point in time, I thought the Hurt Business was just as over as the Bloodline, in my opinion, at one point, but they pulled the plug on the Hurt Business. So I think both men make excellent points. I think Booker, I think partly Booker did what he did. I think he has opened more doors for other black wrestlers.
Absolutely.
Right. So I think maybe he decided, hey, I'm going to take these bullets, from now to open the doors for other people, because if I take a stand right now, that's going to close more doors for other black men and women in the future. I can see how he feel that way. So I think both have made good points. But I don't know if I could have let Vince use that word in front of me like that. But then at the same time, would I been willing to make that sacrifice and probably not been used and maybe you let go? I don't know. Depends on what my situation at the time was.
And I would hope there was a conversation between them before it happened too.
Yeah, hopefully, right. We don't know. Maybe Vince came to him, asked him was he good with it. I don't know. Or maybe Vince was like, "Hey, I'm the boss, and if you don't like it, I'll bury your ass and release you at some point." I don't. We'll never know. I think but both men, I think both men were right from their perspective.
Bobby, you get to close out.
Well, being a former black wrestler, let me say this. Marcus has the opinion both of them are right in their perspective. I think both of them are wrong. Now, let me say this. People are forgetting one aspect of the whole fucking thing. And this is why I wanted to be more than just a wrestler. I wanted to get involved in, the booking and things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
Your fate depends on that booker. It's all about the booker that depends on your progress or regress. There are very few Daniel Bryans and Cody Rhodes in this world. Very few. For the most part, it's that booker that makes you. Let's look at Booker T's booker, and let's look at who was the first booker of Swerve Strickland. Booker T had Tia Turner. basically one of the biggest rumors was he was the whitest, richest black man there was on earth. That dude didn't have any type of reserve or anything in his body when it came to that. I mean, think about it. Ron Simmons, was it Ron Simmons that was the first black champion?
Yeah.
He broke the rule?
No. Iceman King Parsons.
Well,
Come on, man, get the fuck out of here.
well, that depends on what your perception of a world title is.
Honestly, I would say here's the reason I say Iceman. I know like Ron Simmons the official one, but like Iceman was the first black man I seen win the title, whether it was the official world title or not. He was the first black man I seen have the belt, so he got a special place in my heart.
I got you, but my thing is Ron Simmons really on an international scale. Ron Simmons.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, I agree.
Yeah, and guess what? Ted Turner did that on his own. He did that. He said, "Fuck this shit. Let's do this." But he had an experience with Vince McDiddy. The only thing Brown he liked was shit. My thing is, Vince was like a promoter that I know that does not think an African American can get off as an intelligent face. There are plenty of promoters out there like that. I've experienced some of them, but don't think the intelligent role for a black guy works in the ring. I've proven it does. Yeah. I mean, Keith Lee has proven it does. You know what I'm saying? If they use it right.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, these promoters ain't that smart. I mean, the ones that think that way. I think both of them are missing the point of who did they come up under? Who was that person that was feeding that water to that grass so they could grow? Swerve didn't have that. You know what I'm saying? Swerve had pretty much of a rough road till he got to AEW. And I'm glad he went to AEW so he could show his skill. Booker T had the right people in the right positions because when he came to WWE after that takeover, they couldn't have shit on Booker T. Booker T did all in WCW.
They tried.
They tried, but Booker is the man. He pulled that shit out.
Booker T's Team Booker, in my opinion, was like New Day when they first started. They did not expect that shit to get over.
No.
Absolutely not.
And King Booker killed it.
Yes.
But it's the promoter, though. Because look at who put him in that position, the promoter. You know what I'm saying? We gotta look at these promoters when this happens.
Okay.
Wrestling, when it comes to the African American wrestlers, when it comes to even your wrestler that you like that don't get over because he might be this way or that way, you gotta look at the booker. And I'm sorry, both of them are wrong because they think it's each other either turning his back on his people or turning his back on other wrestlers, and then he's one that's looking at it like he's not appreciating the opportunity that he has versus who's really in control of your shit, and that's the bookers. And start talking about the bookers putting people in this position rather than these two talking about who had privileges and who didn't. That's just my spot.
Okay. Well, Bobby, a follow-up question, and we can go around the panel for this if we've got time. I'm not sure whether you want to move on.
We're good, Rob.
We're good.
Because I'm drinking margarita right now. We're good.
Oh, all righty. Well, then let's move on.
No, I'm saying.
No. Go ahead with your question.
Okay. Well, let's discuss certain aspect of this.
We're spending 10 turners for this OT that we're going to do.
Okay, well,
I got another 12-hour day.
Oh, hell. Okay, my question for Bobby and for the panel overall, is it cultural or prejudiced when a black wrestler is given a hood gimmick? Is it cultural or is it prejudiced?
It's both.
It's both.
I say it's both. Because The cultural aspect of it is a prejudiced view of black people, in my opinion.
Okay.
Can I answer that one?
Like Ty said, all black women don't act like that. All black men don't look, but culturally, they that's how they look at us.
Okay, so it's a combination of both in
I
your
think
eyes.
it's both. I mean, I like to hear what they got to say.
Okay, Bobby, you said you wanted to hit that. Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to hit that.
Oh yeah.
Oh, thank you for joining us on FT. That one counts.
Shit. Since we're on the subject, Jada Parker can get it all day, every day. I hit that little hood black white guns.
Thank you for joining us on FT. Oh, Bobby, go ahead.
Go ahead, Bobby.
I get you talking because I be doing the slapping.
Thank you for joining us on FT.
But yeah, he almost made me forget where the fuck I was going.
No,
I do that from time to time.
yeah. Culture
you
versus
Parker,
prejudice.
that's right, does anybody remember?
Yeah, culture versus prejudice on hood gimmicks.
Okay. I actually have to revert back to my point that I made before. It's all about that booker. You can't present a hood gimmick in a certain way, but if that's the only thing you book, then that's a problem. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can have a hood gimmick in there, to mix in with everybody. I think it should. My problem is that when every black person comes up, that's all you promote. There's nerdy black guys. There's what the fuck they call it? Anime black guys. There's gothic black guys. There's IT black guys. Yeah, there are gothic black guys.
Okay, you knew that look was for a guy.
I know. But yeah, there is. I know a couple of them.
There are gay black guys.
Well, that's a given. Yeah.
You're gonna leave the Velveteen Dream out of this, okay?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you for joining us on FTW.
Yeah, he was a needle mover in the real sense. But anyway,
thank you for joining us on FTW. Wow.
But I mean, I think that they should be hitting all aspects and promoting all aspects of a society. But kids have an opportunity to be so creative. It's just we're in the storytelling industry to put together compelling storylines that could be true to today's times or not true and just totally made up, to where it gets the person to think and it gets the person to think about themselves. We have that tap that we could do. WWE does a lot more than other places are. They do. Whether it's on purpose or it's on accident, they do. But we need that when it's not only just African American wrestlers, but all wrestlers, because guess what? When you talk about a female wrestler, they're not always blonde with big tits and have a pretty fucking face. Let's just keep it real.
Unfortunately.
When it comes to male wrestlers, they're not always muscle-bound dudes who look like quarterbacks off the fucking 49ers. No, they don't do that shit. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to a black dude, he's not always hood and always living in fucking Cabrini Green. That's bullshit. And every black female ain't from fucking ghetto with fucking weave in their hair, flopping it around, thinking that this and this. No, it ain't that. We need all aspects of all generations to come in there. I like the Scottish thing. I like the Australian thing. I like that. And they stay true to their nature, blah, blah, blah. But you'll ever see to hear one of them Australians and say, hey, why don't you come out like Steve Irwin? You ever see that? No.
They tried it without Back Jack.
Who was that?
That was Danny Spivey.
Who was the booker then?
Well, definitely Vince.
Yeah.
My point exactly.
Yeah.
Depends on the booker. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Ty.
I do agree with both Tony and Mastermind on their point. I think I'm with Tony. It's both. It's absolutely have to be both, and it's also has something to do with the booker. So I have to say all three:
Okay.
culture, prejudice, and booking.
All right. Marcus?
I ditto it. I think it has to be both. I think you should have all aspects because I mean there are people in the hood that watch wrestling that they probably want to see somebody they can identify with. But then you got someone like me who, well, I didn't grow up in the hood, so I get kind of tired of seeing him. That was like my biggest issue with Bianca Belair initially was coming across as good as she was. Her promos was a hood rap promo. I didn't want to hear that. You know,
I don't
so
think anybody wanted to hear that, me
right,
included,
right, exactly. So I think
because
No, but
when I
Mark is right.
hear,
Though. Like the hood rats, the hood fans want to see it.
right, but there are people who want to see that. So I'm not opposed to it, but I don't want every black person to be just that. So as long so I think it comes from both, and I think it's okay to come from both, as long as I don't want to see, uh, for example, I don't want to see only person getting over is a guy that breakdance or doing doing bootios. That's not all I want to see. I want to see somebody like Bobby Lashley and Children Business getting over it as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the perspective comes from both, though, from the promoter's perspective.
Obafemi.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I got feeling. I just got feeling they're gonna drop the ball with him when they call him up. I just have that feeling.
Well, I hope not,
Yeah.
because I mean, Obafemi is that guy is just made for money. If you just leave him the hell alone and let
But
him be who he is on the main roster, I mean, how hard is that to fuck up?
I'm scared with that big accent he got.
Yeah,
And
Yeah.
that
like
would
you
that
like
would worry me.
how can they fuck it up?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
like Rob, come on.
Yeah.
Like, you hate WWE.
No,
Yeah.
I hate WWE creative. They can fuck up a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
That's why
And
I'm scared for Obafemi. Like I don't want him to get caught up.
Yeah, but he's such a beautiful cup of espresso. I don't see how you could screw that up. But if anyone can, it's WWE creative.
You
Hold
said,
on, wait.
Here.
You know the reason why I don't think they're gonna fuck it up? Because Obafemi is Shawn Michaels' creation, and Shawn Michaels is friends with Triple H. That's why.
Well, that might
That's
help.
That's
yes.
the only reason. The
We'll
only reason.
We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, we will see, because
Yeah.
Obafemi is big and he is gonna in both senses.
I hate how Trick has fallen off. Like Trick was supposed to be the next call up, and he's hardly doing shit down in NXT.
Now, see, I think I hope he stays because he's gonna get lost in the shuffle. I guarantee.
Because it's gonna take them a couple of years when they get to that roster to get that spot, to get that main spot.
Yeah.
Except if we Brian Barker.
Well, right now there is a glut in the roster of guys who could potentially be the next thing, but that WWE will not pull the trigger on, which is one of a huge issue that I have with WWE right now. Speaking of huge issues, our next segment is the You Tapped Out for the week. And as always, we start with the innovator of the Tap Out segment, Marvelous Marcus Buckley. What was your tap out this week, sir?
My tap out this week was on Raw. I believe it was Raw, and Logan Paul. He looked totally lost in the ring this week when he was getting booed and trying to get through his promo. I mean, he looked like he was forgetting what he was supposed to say, and he looked like he was just totally disheveled. And I know he's still relatively new, and I think his in-ring skill, he's further along than what his years of experience was. But I expect at this point, as much as he's in front of the camera,
unless he get booed.
Yeah, to me, I expect him to be a little bit more further along, not to be as thrown off as he appeared to be when he was getting booed I mean, he gets booed all the time, but this was the first time he looked like he just didn't know how to respond. Like he looked like a rookie for the first time to me, and I expect a little bit more at this point in the game.
Huh.
Can I go next?
Yeah, go ahead, Motown.
And the reason I wanted to go next because my tap out is not like a bad moment of the week. It was honestly one that kind of hurt. And it's Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
Kevin Owens and his neck injury. I posted a thing they're talking about like 2 to 5 years, but I also heard that he could be back in the year. But we're talking about a neck and everything. That
I
man's
saw that
talent.
in the group.
But Kevin Owens is incredible talent. One of my favorite wrestlers in WWE, and I'm so pissed that they haven't pushed him the way they should. But hearing that he had that neck injury, had to walk away, especially like I was looking forward to him and Randy Orton at WrestleMania. I really was. That news that news stunk. Like, because like Adam Pearce came out there talking about this part of the job he hates, and kind of alluded to like somebody going to be seriously injured, possibly career ending or on that level. And then hear KO's music, my heart sank. It really did. Like, man, no, not now, KO. Not now. I wish you the best, KO. Definitely do. I'm hoping for a speedy recovery. I hope you are able to get back into the ring. But that news floored me. It really did. So it's not like, this was a horrible tap out, but that's my tap out because I just felt tapped out. I was deflated when I heard that, like, we're not going to have KO for a long time.
Well, Motown, you stole my thunder.
Really?
That was the Kevin Owens not being at WrestleMania and the injury announcement was my tap out this week.
I really thought I was going to be the only one. I'm sorry, Rob.
Well, no,
you aren't.
I mean, it was just things like this negate all of the unforced errors that we get on television because it's a legit injury. It's something that affects a man's life and his livelihood. So as much things as I could complain about on here, and I do, I'm a fuss budget. I'm Mr. No Fun, but this really does take precedent, especially considering that like you, I was really one of the only matches that I was looking forward to on the Mania 41 card was Owens versus
Orton.
Orton. Sorry, but yeah, I don't know what they're going to do with Randy Orton now. Obviously, they're going to have him do some kind of weird thing that Adam Pearce is going to put together, but it's not going to be the same.
I think you mean Aldis, because Nick Aldis was the one that called out.
Yeah, that's right. I'm sorry. Nick Aldis is SmackDown. Adam Pearce is Raw. Wrong brand. But they use them almost interchangeably, so it's hard. Yeah, but
Rob, when you look at this injury that he had, look at his last several pay-per-view matches. They have been fucking brutal.
Yes, they have, and they've been some of the best matches on pay-per-view or PLEs for WWE shows. So it's a damn shame. But Owen said that this has been going on for months, like 4 months, and that they haven't been able to diagnose exactly what was going on.
But Bob, that's the scary thing about it because it's been going on for 4 months from like Rumble on.
Yeah. So
that's been news. I thought Cody killed him.
Yeah, I know, and that was a brutal spot, very brutal. So. We love Kevin Owens. We wish him the best, and I hope that he will come back soon. But yeah, it is a bummer beyond belief that one of the best matches that Mania 41 was going to offer is now off the table. Ty, what was your tap out?
This was supposed to be my tap out from last week, but my tap out is from TNA Wrestling, and it involves Gail Kim getting fired from TNA.
Got fired?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought her contract expired.
No, she got fired.
Oh,
She's
man.
been with, and this makes me mad because she's been with the company since 2007.
Yeah.
And y'all gonna sit there and do this
The
to
first,
her?
right or wrong,
Y'all
first
gonna,
knockout
y'all gonna
champion.
sit there
Right?
and do this to her? She was the backbone of the
Sorry,
knockouts
what?
division.
Sorry,
She's
was
one of
she
the
the first?
OGs.
Sorry, was she the first knockouts champion? If I
She
remember right.
was.
Yes.
She was. She was the inaugural knockouts champion. And her and Kong had a amazing feud. Their feud was phenomenal. I also loved her feud with Terrence Terrell.
Yeah, she made Terrence Terrell.
Oh my God.
Ty, she
That
made Terrence Terrell
match.
a superstar.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That match she and Terrell put on, oh my God. One of the best matches ever. And y'all
Yeah.
gonna sit there and fire Gail Kim for what? Fuck TNA, I love y'all because y'all brought my boo and his brother back, but fuck y'all for that. Fuck y'all.
That's a good tap out.
That's a good
And-
tap.
It was supposed to be my, like I
Sorry,
said,
I'll be
it was
honest with you. I
supposed to be
love
my
your
tap
input
out for
because I don't
last
follow
week.
TNA and everything, so you keep me up to date. Thank you.
Cool. Bobby, what was your tap out this week?
Well, after hearing a couple of people speak, my tap out was for the same thing, but for a different reason when it comes to KO Randy Orton.
Mm-hmm.
The way y'all talking, y'all really are, and I'm hoping that it is. This is my problem. Let me just say it straight out. And I hope I'm wrong because of the way y'all talking. I think it's bullshit. Because I'm ready to come on here and say, how the fuck does WWE think we're that fucking dumb that we don't see Kevin Owens playing fucking games, trying to get out of the fucking match? He could do something at WrestleMania, and then they're going to go to SummerSlam and have a fucking match. I just think that it's a setup that was just so obviously done until it pissed me off. But if other people are reporting on this and saying, "Hey, he is out for 2 to 5 years," then I hope he is all right. But I'm initially saying right now, my first gut is telling me this is bullshit. They're saving it for SummerSlam.
You think it's a work?
I think it's a fucking work.
That's kind of backwards as work to like not compete at the biggest show of the year to compete at fucking SummerSlam.
Let me tell you why. WrestleMania can only have so much attention on main shows. If you want the most attention, sometimes you gotta take that secondary show to get that attention, and you do the first one. So, WrestleMania, they already got what's his name? CM Punk.
CM Punk, the triple threat. They got
The triple threat. They
got
got Cody
Cena
versus
versus
fucking John Cena.
Rhodes.
You know what I'm saying? You got big fucking matches already there that's gonna take the attention away from what the fuck you're doing. I'm sorry. I'm gonna say, hey, if you're gonna sit up here and I want my name out there, you wanna have this at WrestleMania. Why don't we have this done at SummerSlam? Take it out a few more months, get more money under our belts, and make the major money there, and then we get the main attention. It'd be the main event of SummerSlam.
But even that ain't gonna be the main event.
It's still not gonna be the main event.
And you're not gonna get, but he's not getting more money at SummerSlam than you getting that Mania.
Hold on. Who said he ain't getting paid for Mania? He can get a percentage for Mania without even having to wrestle because the story's good.
No, but like Marcus said, though, your Mania is your money match.
Yeah.
Not SummerSlam. And it's not gonna be the main event of SummerSlam.
Yeah.
You got 2 titles, you got 2 women's titles. They're not main event of SummerSlam.
And nobody's gonna choose to not wrestle on WrestleMania if you can't. You're not gonna say, "Oh, well, I'll set out WrestleMania for SummerSlam."
Depending on the pay structure, I would. Because let me tell you, check this out. Let's just say if I wrestle a WrestleMania match, I got $300,000 for that one, right?
Okay.
But let's just say I get $175,000 for not wrestling it, because okay, there are certain things in the contract to where if your story is continued, you get a percentage of that big show money, which I'm sure superstars of their caliber, they have that in there. Okay? So you might not be getting the $350,000 like everybody else. You get $175. But you made a bit SummerSlam, and SummerSlam main event is paying you $200,000. You made it $25,000 or $50,000.
But how they gonna justify that being the main event?
Right. There's no way that's gonna be.
Yeah, I don't see.
There's
Like
no
I
way.
know as far as you main event SummerSlam, but I don't see no main event of SummerSlam.
Okay.
Well, Bobby, I can see part of your point here, but there's also another problem here. From what I've heard reported so far, there's only 8 matches for combined for both nights of Mania 41.
Right.
And that was so that's 4 matches per night.
I think they're gonna start slinging matches at us for the next week or so.
I would hope so, because that's very thin gruel.
That's WrestleMania one night.
It's gonna be a 5th match added to it.
Well, I would hope so. I would hope so, because to expand WrestleMania to 2 nights, only to have 4 matches per show would suck.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. Because we still don't have matches for the tag team titles. You know they're gonna put that in there. So we gonna have more matches.
See that for next week, I wanted to do Book It Yourself. I want to.
Next week, I think you'll be able to though, because I think between Raw and SmackDown, we're gonna get 4 more matches at least.
Yeah. So, but we'll talk about that for next week. I want to do a Book It Yourself where I get the panel's opinion on my alternative WrestleMania 41 card, and we'll talk about that later on. Moving on to moment of the week, Bobby, what do you got?
I have you sorry with Bobby. I got 2 moments. I think Bobby gonna take one of them.
I'm going to give it to Tiffany and Charlotte.
Ah, okay.
Because Tiffany embarrassed the queen. I think I like it because somebody tried to sit up there and she tried to get over on somebody else, and Tiffany straight flipped it on her. It was a beautiful thing. Because I remember people that had power like that back in the day and cutting a promo, flipping it on them, and their face was just priceless. And Charlotte's face was just priceless.
Yeah.
Everybody made the complaint that, oh, well, it didn't look right. No, that was perfect. Because once somebody tried to do that to you live in the ring, and you turn that around on like you flipping a fucking pancake on the fucking stove, that's the most awesome thing you can see. Because they face like, duh.
Now, was it Charlotte? Was it Charlotte that started that shit? She went off script first? Okay.
Yes, it was. And Tiffany, especially when Tiffany said, so what does that make you? 0-3? Woo! And what she did that was smart. When she dropped the mic, threw it at her feet, and went outside and held up the belt, which means this is how conversation is over. They played Tiffany's music right after that because that was perfect. She did what she was supposed to perfectly because Charlotte should have never said nothing like she did. And she ended it perfect. It was the most beautiful get back that I've seen in a long time. It made me, anybody that's been in the ring and done promos knows exactly what I'm talking about. It gave me the willies. I loved it. That's my moment of the week. Go ahead, Tiffany Stratton. Go ahead, Tiffany. You go with your young ass. You go with your young ass.
Bobby, it's titty time.
It's titty time. Boy.
Thank you for joining us on FTW Future Focus.
Because she showed melted her plastic surgery all over the fucking face.
Thank you for joining us on FTW. Wow. Ty, what was your moment?
I like Tony. I have 2 moments. My first moment happened on SmackDown, the debut of Rey Fenix, as he faced one half of Fraxium, Nathan Fraser. My second moment of the week happened on NXT. Stephanie Vaquer versus Jada Parker.
Sweet. Motown, what's your moment?
My moment of the week happened on SmackDown in Chicago. I'm sorry, Marcus, is this your moment of the week? It was CM Punk. That motherfucker. You talk about Road Warrior pop? The Road Warrior animal would have been like, God damn. Did you just hear the pop that CM Punk just got? I love when he came out the first time. I love the pop that he got. The Chicago crowd, we just discussed this shit last week. This is another reason it's my moment of the week. We discussed it last week. International crowd versus U.S. crowds.
Mm-hmm.
Chicago is on a whole nother level. That crowd in Chicago, you would have thought they were still international. That crowd was on point. They did do some singing, Rob. They didn't do as much singing as they did international. It was like, but the pop that Punk got, some of the pop, the reactions, that crowd was fucking on point. And this storyline that they're doing with this triple threat, I'm sorry, Gunther and Jay, y'all can't do this. There's levels to this, and these motherfuckers are on a whole different level. They my moment of the week.
Can I ask a question off of that?
Yeah.
Ty, you might not be able to answer this question, okay? But Rob, Marcus, and Tony, we all four of us are from Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't you say Chicago basically is an international crowd because of the melting pot it is?
You could define it that way. I mean, Chicago is a multicultural city with a lot of different people and neighborhoods in it, so you could call it an international crowd. It's very American in their responses. Like I said last week, it's not so much that international crowds are better, it's just they're different. But when you're talking about a Chicago audience, they back in the 50s, in the first TV era of wrestling, Chicago was one of the biggest wrestling markets. So they've been hungry and starving to be a wrestling town for a long, long time, and that's why they gravitate toward hometown guys like Punk. And when they get an opportunity to cheer him, and when they get big shows like AEW had given them in the past, they show up and they show out. So yeah, it's kind of like that flavor, definitely.
Marcus, what do you think?
Oh, I agree to. I pretty much agree to that, because I mean, I used to go to the shows all the time. It was pretty much, there was a lot of people, from foreign countries there, and you had your black, your white, Latino. I mean, I think it was like a whole melting pot.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I could totally agree to a certain extent. Absolutely.
Yeah, even local shows for indie promotions like Freelance in Chicago, and
Ring of Honor used to perform
at Chicago Ridge.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say that. Yeah.
Yeah, GCW plays Chicago all the damn time. Even a parody promotion like Lucha Vavoom. I don't know if you're familiar with them, but I don't know if they're still around. Yeah. But Lucha Vavoom was a weird sort of thing that me and my friend Mike went to. It was wrestling plus vaudeville, and it was played for comedy. But even that had a dedicated Chicago fan base, and it was just Chicago is a wrestling town all the way. Who hasn't gone for a moment?
I haven't gone yet.
Okay, go ahead, Motown.
Chicago's a melting pot, so I get that analogy on it, but it ain't that. Chicago are rabid wrestling fans.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter whether it's AEW, WWE. It doesn't matter if it's this McDiddy in charge or I'm going to put it on the boss's daughter like Doug's in charge.
Oh, thank you for joining us on FTW Future Focus.
You always bring your A game in Chicago.
Yes.
Chicago got that fan base, and I'm sorry, they got a local fan base. We got an international pod that's filtering in on it, but Chicago got a wrestling fan base that you got to bring it for, and they always bring it for them. It don't matter who it is, whether it's WWE, AEW, TNA back in the day. WCW shows, the Monday Night shows in the United Center were fucking off the chain.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They always brought their A game in Chicago because they know they're going to get a good return on their investment. Chicago has always been that city. I look at top wrestling cities. I'm partial. Marcus is too. I think a lot of us are to Chicago, though. But when you look at, like, Chicago, St. Louis, Minneapolis, like, those are some of your best wrestling cities, though. But I'm sorry, Chicago is on top of that list because it's not only that we're international. And I think that's the difference between like Minneapolis and St. Louis is that we don't have they don't have the international flavor that Chicago has.
Mm-hmm.
But Chicago has a fucking diehard, passionate wrestling fan base. It doesn't matter if it's the big shows, if it's ROH like me and Marcus used to go to, fucking Phil House, whether it's GCW, whether they're doing some shit at fucking 123rd over there. What's that place over there, 123rd in Kansas?
Oh, you mean Bourbon Street?
Bourbon Street.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking, you put on live ass fucking wrestling show in a goddamn bar on 123rd in Kansas. That's what Chicago does. Like, no matter what, CM Punk was in Chicago. Was Chicago Windy City Wrestling? Was it?
Yep.
Yeah, Windy City Pro Wrestling.
Everybody talk about like how Punk made his name in these indie shows in Chicago because these indie shows in Chicago, because the Chicago wrestling fans will put you on the goddamn map.
That's true.
Yeah. Christopher Daniels.
Yes. Christopher Daniels is huge in Chicago.
Yes, that's where he started out.
So, yeah, we do have an international melting pot and everything like that, but it's the Chicago love, the Chicago fan base for wrestling, though.
Marcus, what's your moment?
Well, my first things first. Fuck you, Tony. Again, that's first and foremost. But my other moment was just Monday Night Raw. I think from the promo between Cena and Cody on to the Usos with Gunther, on to them pushing the Intercontinental title. I just think this week's Raw did, at least for me anyway, did a really good job with, making me more interested in some of the matches. I think they're really doing well with pushing these programs along. I'm looking more for, well, I say more interested in seeing what the outcome is, because for the first time in a while, I think for most of the big matches, they aren't predictable to me. I can really see them going either way. So I thought last Monday's Raw really did a good job with setting those programs up.
I will admit, though, Cody Cena promo was my moment of the week until SmackDown.
Yeah.
Then it fell to third. Bobby named my
What? Hey.
and I say Cody Cena was my number 3 moment of the week, but at the time it was number 1. But you named my number 1. CM Punk was my second, and Cody and Cena was my third.
Cool. Well, my moment of the week was probably different than, definitely on a different radar than everybody else's, because
It was Josie's. Oh, sorry.
Okay, my second. Anyway, no, my moment of the week was the announcement that AEW's doubled its audience because of streaming on Max. Now, At first it was dismissed as like false numbers, but we've got three different sources saying that AEW is getting it's averaging over 1.2 million viewers between TBS, TNT, and Max, and that they're expanding their fan base week by week. And since we've been talking so long on this program about how AEW's viewership was falling off and how the attendance was falling off, I think that I wanted to the announcement that this is happening and that Max is doing its job in expanding AEW's fan base, and that the numbers are going up again. I wanted to, that was my moment of the week, because it proves beyond a doubt that, in my eyes at least, that AEW is doing something right. As much as we talk about the things that they're doing wrong, and they are doing things wrong, the fan base is expanding for AEW, and to me that's the proof. And the announcement of that over the rumor mill was my moment of the week.
No, that's good. Honestly, streaming is good for both companies, not just AEW, but both companies and everything. And the reason I say that is because I got a friend who lives in Ghana. Mm-hmm. Her kids love wrestling, but they don't really watch it. They get to see WWE on Netflix. The fact that AEW is on Max, the fact that you can get more eyes on the product is good all around, in my opinion, Rob, for the wrestling business itself.
Okay, as much of a sourpuss as I am, and it's pointed out to me, especially on Motown Wrestling Group, and I'm not exactly the most popular guy there sometimes, but even though I am Mr. No Fun, it is important to note that this is a damn good time to be a professional wrestling fan. It is, because things are really heated up right now. And that neatly transitions, if we've got time left, into our last segment today, which is predictions for tonight's AEW Dynasty pay-per-view.
How many matches are there?
There are 12. So we
God, no!
Yeah,
so guys, we might do rapid fire on this shit.
Yeah, I think we may. The first match. Okay, let's
3 days ago.
Okay, well, let's make it rapid fire then.
Didn't I say something about 40 fucking matches? Didn't I say that shit?
Yeah,
hey,
yeah.
Like Ty pointed out, I'm the one to say less is more.
Well, okay, there's a difference between 4 matches per night and like 12 matches in one go.
No, well, Rob, when I say less is more, I'm not talking about that much less.
Well, okay. Well, no, there's a Goldilocks spot to be had somewhere. And I apologize to the home audience. I'm trying to hide this right eye because I don't want everybody to be looking at my lazy...
No, you're good, Rob.
No.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
But Rob, check this out.
Yeah.
You understand something, though. A woman might not want 12, but an 8 are doing just fine.
Thank you for joining us on FTW Future Focus.
8, Rob. You know why I like 77 more than 869? You get 8 more.
Thank you for joining us on FTW. Wow, it was just inevitable that we were going to break the thing today.
Yeah, that was a lick.
Okay, well, let's get started on this so that we can get it all in on time.
Okay.
Max Caster Open Challenge, win or lose, Ty.
Lose.
Marcus?
Lose.
Bobby?
Who gives a fuck?
Okay, that was our first one of the night. I'm going to say win, just to be different. Okay.
He's at 1 and 5. Well,
okay. Next match, Nick Wayne's crew versus AR Fox and Top Flight. I'm going with Top Flight and Fox. Bobby.
Who gives a fuck?
Damn.
Second one of the night, Ty.
Dante Fox and Top Flight.
All righty. Marcus.
I want to say I don't give a fuck, but I know it's gonna be more coming. So, I'll say the Nick Wayne's crew.
All right. Motown, did you get one? Did you?
No, I did. This is damn near I don't give a fuck, but I'm actually gonna go with Dante Fox because I love him with Lucha Underground and his match with Kill Shots, which was Swerve Strickland. So I'm going Dante Fox. And,
All right. Cool. Tournament semifinals for the Owen Hart. First, Will Ospreay versus Kevin Knight.
Can I go first?
Yeah.
The greatest wrestler in the business today, Will Ospreay.
All righty. Marcus.
Ospreay.
Okay. Cool. Ty.
Ospreay.
Bobby.
Who gives a fuck?
God damn!
Jesus.
Bobby's going to run the mill here. I'm going to go with Ospreay.
Dang, his
there.
responses are spicier than those Takis I ate.
Exactly. Second tournament match, Kyle Fletcher versus Mark Briscoe. I'm going to go with Fletcher on this one, and that makes the final Ospreay versus Fletcher, and I'm going to go with Fletcher on that one as well to win the whole thing. Bobby, how do you feel?
Fletcher.
And is that your overall winner?
It gotta be, because he ain't gonna fuck about the other one.
Well, okay then.
Yeah.
All right then. Ty.
Mark Briscoe.
Cool. Is he your overall winner?
He's not my overall winner, but
Oh!
So you think Ospreay is going to win the tournament?
I think so.
Oh!
All righty. Marcus.
I'm going with Ospreay for both because he's getting that world. It's about time for him to put that world title on him.
But who you got with Briscoe versus Fletcher?
Oh, Fletcher, then Ospreay.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Whoa! Whoa!
Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Motown. Go ahead.
I agree with the first lady. I got Briscoe winning.
The whole thing?
No, I got Briscoe winning.
No, against Fletcher. Okay. So we get.
And the reason I got Briscoe winning because we don't need Ospreay Fletcher again. So Briscoe for this one, Ospreay overall.
Okay. All right. Women's title match: Mercedes Moné versus Hart. Bobby.
Who gives a fuck?
Oh, Jesus.
Wow.
Hey, what was this match again?
Mercedes Moné versus Hart.
Okay, that's where I lost interest.
I don't give a fuck. Fuck this match.
Am I next?
Yeah, go ahead, Motown.
I really don't give a fuck, but Mercedes Moné.
Okay, Ty.
I'm sick of Monet's title reign. The house always wins. Julia Hart.
Julia.
I hope you're right, Ty. I hope you're right. I don't see it, but I hope you're right.
I hate to ask, but Marcus.
If you really need, you could have marked me down. You could have marked me down already.
I don't give a fuck.
So,
Okay, well, for the sake of for the sake of love here, I'm going to go with Ty and follow my heart and say Julia Hart gets the belt.
I will follow my fucking heart to say, who gives a fuck?
I will follow my heart and say, I hope you two are right. I really do. I just don't see it.
Okay.
Mercedes Moné make more money in a day. Mercedes Moné gonna make more money on that match than that bitch making the whole fucking year.
Unfortunately, that's probably true. Speaking of making a whole bunch of money, the Hurt Syndicate defending the tag titles against Big Bill and Brian Keith. And I'm definitely going to go with the Hurt Syndicate because they are very, very over, and the tag division is not as hot as it should be. Marcus.
It's a Hurt Syndicate. Easy.
Okay. Motown.
Easily Hurt Syndicate.
Okay. Ty.
Hurt Syndicate.
And Bobby.
Hurt them, baby.
All right.
Yes. Now I don't give a fuck.
Okay, for the TNT Championship, Garcia versus Cole.
I'll go first.
Mm-hmm.
Adam Cole, baby.
That is my call as well. I think Adam Cole's getting the TNT title. Much as I like Garcia, he's not had that great a run with the belt.
He hasn't.
Ty, what do you think?
I can't go against your boy, Tony. Adam Cole.
Cool. Marcus?
Hey, I'll make it unanimous.
Cool. Bobby?
How do I say this? What was the matchup again?
Garcia versus Cole.
I don't give a fuck.
Wow. Okay. For the trios tag title, the Death Riders versus Rated FTR. I'm going with the Death Riders on this because of the breakup tease with FTR. I think there's going to be some shenanigans with Dax Harwood, so Death Riders are keeping the belts. Bobby, do you give a fuck or do you pass?
I don't give a fuck. With rated, it's rated. I don't give a fuck.
I see. Marcus.
I'm wrong. Same thing as you. Same reason. Death Riders.
Okay. Ty.
Death Riders. And
Okay.
I also think it's going to be some breakups between Rated FTR.
Yeah. Okay. Motown.
In my heart of hearts, I hope my prediction comes true. I'm picking Death Riders,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm picking FTR to turn on Adam Copeland.
Both of them.
Yes. Both.
Okay.
Fuck that motherfucker. Cope. Rated PG ass.
I can't cope with Cope without soap on a rope.
Motherfucker ain't been rated R since 1990 something. Oh, 2001, 2002. Whenever the fuck he was with Lita.
All right, for the women's world title, Toni Storm defending against Marie Bain. Or is that her name? What was it?
Megan Bain.
Megan Bain. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Mega Bang.
I wrote that down wrong. Megan Bain versus Toni Storm for the women's title. They're not ready to take it off Storm yet, so I'm giving it to her. Ty.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think they're going to give the title to Bain, so Timeless Toni Storm retains.
Okay. Motown.
Timeless Tony Storm all the way on this.
Yeah.
But Mega Bang, oh my gosh, she could get it.
Megan Bain is good. I just wrote her name down wrong. Marcus.
Get it like does.
Oh, thank you for joining us on FTW Future Focus.
Well, I'm not going to say I don't give a fuck, but that will be my piss break match. So,
Okay.
whatever.
Who you picking?
Do I give a fuck? Yeah, I'll go with Toni Storm, I guess.
Bobby, is that unanimous?
Yeah, I think Tony's gonna win it.
Okay. All right. For the international title, three-way match, Kenny Omega defending against Ricochet and Speedball Bailey. I am going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to say Ricochet wins it. He's going to get the belt. A tie. Do you pick your boo or not? Side boo.
Yep, my side boo's keeping the damn title.
Okay, that's one for Omega, one for Ricochet. Marcus, where you at?
I'm going with Ricochet as well. I think this is going to start some kind of program with Bailey and Omega. I think.
Sweet. Motown.
I'm taking the side boo.
Okay, two for Omega. All right. And Bobby, you're the tiebreaker.
Ricochet.
All righty. And the main event. AEW World Title, Swerve Strickland to challenge John Moxley.
We're in the main event already. We did do rapid fire. God,
We
damn.
did. Well, Motown, what do you think?
Moxley versus
Swerve.
Swerve's on a roll. Swerve's on a roll. I'm really nervous about this pick, though. Be honest with you, I'm picking Swerve Strickland.
Okay.
But for some reason, I think Prince Nana's gonna fuck him.
What?
It's possible. It is entirely possible.
You said that last time.
But I'm still picking Swerve, though. Because Swerve's on a roll.
Yeah, well, he came close to being right, actually. But
Swerve need this win, though. We talk about black wrestlers and everything. You guys, everybody watching this, y'all know I was pissed that Daniel Bryan took the title off him. Still pissed about that shit. I felt like to set him back, though. So, they don't get him back on track. Swerve's winning this.
I hope so.
If Swerve don't win this, I was right.
Ty, what do you think?
I gotta go with Swerve. And I think he gonna get revenge on Moxley after what Mox did to Willow. Justice for Willow Nightingale, damn it.
You know what? I agree with that. I think that Swerve is going to get the belt back tonight. That they are going to have a whole bunch of people lined up for Swerve, and that his second title reign is going to be his best title reign. It's going to be
Willow.
There you go. Absolutely. Sorry. Marcus.
Okay. And my prediction, that probably will not come true. I'm picking Moxley because I think he's going to hold the title to Texas. And I'm picking Moxley due to outside interference from Keith Lee. Fucking Swerve.
Oh. That would be an interesting twist. I'll give you that.
The only reason I would be okay with Marcus' prediction if it's his full prediction, to be honest with you.
Wait a minute. If Moxley wins with the help of Keith Lee, is it possible that Prince Nana will screw Swerve and align with Lee?
Possible, but that's
but yeah. I like the prediction though.
And that whole thing would make sense. Marcus would make an excellent booker. And Marvelous Marcus Buckley should be the booker of AEW now.
Hey, I can see for Texas, Moxley versus Osprey.
That's true too. That's very true too. Bobby, close us out. Bobby, did you lose audio?
What have I been saying?
Okay.
You've been saying fuck Moxley.
And I don't give a fuck about this match. Fuck Moxley. Fuck all them Death Riders. Fuck the one chick that's there talking about she go tear somebody's liver out and make him eat it.
Marina,
you cook liver if you had a fucking recipe book. I don't give a fuck. Wait, Bobby. You
what? About Swerve.
How
you don't give a fuck about Swerve?
Swerve don't eat them motherfuckers. Swerve should be in his own match with somebody else. Fuck these bitches.
So that's kind of like, that's a record for I don't give a fuck on this particular show.
Yes, I don't give a fuck. Fuck them.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't know about anybody else, but the only part about liver that I like is the smell of when it's cooking.
Hey, that chick seemed like she liked it. I have took the liver and shoved it in your mouth. And then Moxie was like, oh, well, I'm going to walk off. You better walk off. How would you do it to you?
Well, when somebody talks about liver, I do walk off, unless it's with fava beads and a Chianti.
Hey.
No,
Hey.
I'm just kidding.
No, you ain't. Eat the father beans.
No, but I'm no fan of liver, but I am a fan of professional wrestling, and that is going to close us out for FTW Future Focus this week. On behalf of Marvelous Marcus Buckley, Tony Motown Allen, the Tigress Ty Nickerson, and the Mastermind Justice for Willow!
Hit it. Oh, how you feel, brother? Feeling good. You feel good? Feeling good. It's groovy. There's so much bone, brother. How you feel, man? I feel all right. I'll call your name. I don't want no people to know you're in here. How you feel, brother? That jam. Sure getting down. Look at him. Ha. We're gonna have a funky good time. 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 Let's take 'em up, Fred. We gotta take you high. Yeah. Ow. All right. You wanna do it again? You wanna do it again, huh? Yeah, let's do it one more time. We gotta take